Today, we're sitting down with Ben Harris, an AI entrepreneur, business leader, and technology expert with decades of experience building companies and helping organizations navigate the future of technology. Do you think our small town city infrastructure is ready and implementing AI into their departments to help them function?
Well, with enough data, you'd know if you weren't.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
You can analyze how you're running it now, right?
If you have the ability to ask the question right to the system and say, are we prepared to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that said, not yet. You need to do this step, this step, this step, this step, this step. Well, there's your action items.
There's your, I don't need a consultant again.
There's your, I don't need a consultant.
I don't need a consultant.
But what you might see in that step list is like, well, we don't have the internal resources or the expertise to do these things. Like maybe we don't have the ability to build out a SQL database or, build out a GitHub repo or build out the coding tools. Okay, well, that's who you need to go get to execute that, but you don't need the advice anymore.
No, but the city could hire you as a consultant to come in and help get AI just set up and data driven in our small towns, which is so cool.
Absolutely.
How do you think AI could help our local government be more effective?
Well, take all the policies that the city of Anacortes has.
Uh-huh.
We could find redundancies.
Yeah.
We could find things where maybe we have some tax things that are going on that are either no longer in effect, right? Or ones that are redundant again, or maybe that are, there's a certain policy or group, maybe or demographic that's being underserved. Yeah. These are the things that AI can help with.
Are these conversations happening, do you think?
No, not as much, nearly as much as they should be.
So we're just behind. And we need to get to speed, people.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So how do we promote this more so that way we can be more efficient as a community?
It starts by liking this video and sharing this content.
I love it. He's already at the end. This is great. Oh my gosh. Now I got to ask this because, again, I feel like education is archived. It's ancient. How can it improve our educational systems here in small communities?
Well, my wife is in education.
Yeah. So she probably goes crazy because she gets to hear you talk about AI and improving systems and processes and everything. And it's just probably not up to par and she can't utilize it
yet.
The
challenge with education systems is the budgets that everybody feels constrained by.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. Everybody feels constrained by the budgets that they're working under because there's rarely ever enough budget given to tech.
Yeah.
And everybody
that's
always
where we need it right now.
And everybody always feels like they're underpaid.
Yeah.
And it is a constant snake eating its own tail.
Mm-hmm.
Always. But we are now entering into a time and era where if you are not investing into technology, you could be hurting very, 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 very fast. And it's just because you can't keep up with the pace of things unless you're using these tools.
Yeah. How far do you think our school districts and educational system are behind?
Well, I know they're behind significantly.
So like a decade?
Well, here's what it could be. Let's talk about what it could be. Right?
Yeah, wave of the future.
Wave of the future. Right here,
what would be amazing if we could, fast forward this train.
Step into our time machine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We're going to the Jetsons now.
So in this utopian future, obviously human interaction always
wins. It always wins.
It always remains, and it should always.
We crave it
because the human interaction.
We need to teach it too, though.
It is, and the human interaction is what guides people to becoming better people.
Yes.
You can't. AI.
You can't make love up, people.
No.
Right?
But AI can teach you math.
Yeah.
And it can teach you English, and it can teach you Spanish, and it can teach you the fundamentals of our history, our national history, our world history. It can teach us reason and logic.
So, if you could go revamp the whole educational system, we'll keep this non-political, but what would it look like? What would the kids be doing? Where would they be learning? How would they be learning?
Well, you have to come up with a system that allows children to be able to safely ask a question and not fear the wrath of God type of thing on there. Yeah, they need to be able to have an honest question because honestly, so many times, if you can't ask a question, you don't get the answer. And so you have the old saying,
you can't learn.
100% of every unasked question was no.
Yeah.
Right. So the same thing, children need to be able to feel comfortable to be able to ask their questions.
Mm-hmm.
And with AI, there's no judgment. It's just, hey, you don't understand this? Let me explain it. I don't understand what 2 plus 2 means. Really, I really don't get this. Okay, well, let me break it down and explain it to you. I can't read this. Let me visualize it for you.
Yeah. So would we still be in like buildings learning as kids? Would we be broken out into groups? Like what? I mean, what would that look like?
I think that's a societal thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of our kids going to school and stuff like that is a societal practice because, you know, most of us have 9-to-5 jobs and, you know, when we're at 9-to-5 jobs and it's kind of hard for us to be watching our kids.
Yeah.
So in some respects, you know, that system is there to help make sure society doesn't fall apart. But it's an opportunity, again, to have interpersonal touch with people and to make people better. And I think that's one of the things that I always look for in a good teacher is someone who cares that this individual becomes a better individual.
Yeah.
More and achieves what they're capable of.
Yeah, I always ask my kids that question: which teacher inspires you to be better and actually cares?
Yeah,
you know what's going on in your life, you know, and those are the teachers that make a difference. They really, really do. So I know that AI can do that. AI cannot do that. How do you think AI can either connect people more or disconnect people more?
Well, I'll start with the disconnecting more first. I think we're already starting to see, I mean, the social media, what is it, Gen Alpha? This is the generation that's going to have, they're growing up in the generation of AI. So they're constantly going to be bombarded with, let me just look it up on my phone, you know, and then having the conversation with it. And in some ways, getting that instant response, an instant answer, there's a dopamine kick that comes out of that.
Yeah.
And when you get dopamine kicks, you want more.
Yeah. That's the way I feel with Claude. I just can't live without him now.
Social media. It's like while you're flipping foot. Why are you doom scrolling? Because I liked that cat and I thought it was funny.
Yeah. You find something hilarious and you can't stop, right?
Yeah. And then you keep on going until you get the next dopamine kick. Until you get tired, you're just like, I'm done with that. Yeah. But with AI, you have the ability now to have instant access. I can be a rocket scientist if I wanted. I can ask any question I want and really go deep into it. But even more dangerous, and this is the personal side, did you ever see the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix? Was it Joaquin Phoenix? I think it was Joaquin. It was Scarlett Johansson was the kind of the voice on the AI. It's kind of like Siri, but it was like, he basically falls in love with his phone.
Oh my gosh, crazy.
It's just he begins to, because his real life wife had passed away. And he begins to have this relationship built in this artificial intelligence. And it was Scarlett Johansson. I mean, everybody was like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
No different. And that's the thing is that when AI becomes so real that you can't believe what you see, hear, or read, then AI has a power over you that you have to be able to discern, this is a device, this is real life. Which am I going to choose? That's the real danger.
That is scary. And it's how do we teach our kids and not give them technology too early to where they build interpersonal connection with people, right? Like this is all the ethics side of stuff, right? And, you know, because you have this conversation, even as a parent, it's like, at what age do you let them have a phone, right? Because it opens Pandora's box at that point, and you never get it back. You can't get it back. And the same thing goes for AI, which the two are going to be combined eventually into one, right? AI and your phone. But so with that being said, and it's stuff that we can't even imagine, but then it's like, how do we maintain families and values and the interpersonal connections? And when do we unleash the beast when it comes to technology and AI? And I know that's an individual family answer that has to happen because, again, we don't want to ruin society.
It is. And I think the challenge begins by you have to make a conscious decision that I'm going to be involved in this conversation.
Yeah.
Like you can't just take a back seat and just say, they'll figure it out. Because what if they don't? And you don't want to be a helicopter parent too, and just be like, "You're never going to use technology." It's like while you're over here, capital hypocrite, right? So it's like you have to find a balance. You have to introduce them to it because they are growing up in a world. Gen Alpha is going to be growing up in a world. This is all they'll ever know.
Yeah.
We grew up in a world where Our parents kicked us outside, touch dirt and grass.
We had pagers. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we were even prior to pagers, but when you look back generation through generation, like you go back to even your grandmother, and they had milk being delivered by a buggy and a wagon. And then by the time my grandmother passed away, she was on Facebook. Do you know what I mean? And now you look at our generations and you go, okay, what didn't we have? Well, we didn't have the internet when we were younger, right? We didn't have cell phones. And now we have AI. And you look at how fast things are moving. I mean, it's fast. So I go, man, by the time I'm, 80 or 90 and pass away, what will I see, right? In another 40 years. I mean, is it going to be a world unrecognized? Because, I grew up watching the Jetsons too, right? Put your hair in this thing and your hair was all done.
For the flying cars, though.
Yeah, well, I can't wait for some of that. So, some of this, in my profession, if I could hop on a drone and be on Guaymas in a second, or fly over to the islands and show a house and then be back in an hour,
pretty sweet.
For my job, I would love. Sign me up. I want one of those to transport me in, because I got to fly in a helicopter one time and it was super cool. And we went over and had a breakfast at Roach Harbor, and it took, what did it take? 5 minutes, 10 minutes to fly in the helicopter, when I had to go by a boat, it's like an hour. But I just love that, because you look and you go, what else can you accomplish? What else can you see? What else can you do?
Well, I think it's a great analogy of what AI does for knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It speeds things up to the point where it's like, wow, I have all this extra time. What am I going to do? I'm just going to use AI some more.
Yeah.
And then it's like you're that much further down the line. Like I was saying, I did a task just yesterday. I spent 12 hours on this yesterday. And I know this because I've done this before manually. I did a month and a half's work in 12 hours.
See, that blows my mind. I always say, what is the last thing, when I'm interviewing somebody, what is the last question, or what is the last thing you used AI for? I always ask that in an interview. And it's crazy to me when somebody responds, well, I haven't used AI. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, I want you to go back and leave and put in this job description and ask, what would I do on a daily basis in this job position? But I did the same thing yesterday too. I did a whole team analysis. Are you pacing? Are you behind of your goals? Because I have independent contractors on the team, and I ran it against their stats last year. And you want to know how it would take me forever to do that manual, which I used to do with pen and paper. And Claude did it for me in, I don't know, it was 15 minutes. I'm like, what in the heck? And I connected my AI with my spreadsheet charts that we run off of our platforms, and it just data dumped in there.
Now,
it was insane.
Imagine taking all the expertise that you have for just kind of managing your team, putting it into a centralized information to basically call it like, what would Kelli do, right?
Scary. It's a scary place to live. So...
I don't invite any of you to live there either.
Yeah. Note to self. Oh. No, well, I appreciate all your insight on this. Any final words or wrap up that you want to share with the audience today? Because
well, like I said, I do own a consulting firm. It's Kai Data Consulting. You can go to kaidatagroup.com if you want to check me out or kind of hunt me down. But I do provide information like this for free. I don't charge anybody just to have conversations. I just like being part of the conversation. I only bill for any work that we do, but it's just there is so much happening right now in the AI space that people are just not equipped to handle, because whether it's either they didn't understand the technology, that's been developed over the last couple decades, or if it's just because there's just so much overwhelming work to do, they just don't know where to start. That's what we do. We help with that conversation.
I love it. And we could talk about this all day long, because there's so many problems we could solve with AI. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Ben, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your perspective. One of the things I enjoyed most about this conversation is that we didn't just talk about technology. We talked about people, businesses, communities, and how all of us can better prepare for what's coming next. Whether you're already using AI every day or just beginning to learn about it, I hope this discussion has helped you better understand both the opportunities and the challenges we face ahead. And if there's one thing I took away from today's conversation, it's that the future isn't just something that happens to us, it's something we can actively prepare for and participate in.
If you found this conversation valuable, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. We're constantly bringing you conversations with local leaders, small business owners, entrepreneurs, and experts.
And if you're thinking about making a move to Anacortes, Skagit County, or Island County, or anywhere in the Northwest, we'd love to be a resource for you. Visit us at kellylangrealestate.com to learn more about the area, browse available homes, and schedule a conversation with our team. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Rock on.
Okay.